Let's explore how timing, adaptation, and sensing opportunity create value, in this case, money. Throughout this video, when I say problem or struggle, by the way, I'm not implying that you're bad with money. I'm not suggesting that you're irresponsible, blocked, or secretly a mess. I'm talking about that strange, ambivalent relationship with money that's hard to name. It's there and then it's not, right? It's something that other people seem to have figured out, and here you are, capable, perceptive, experienced, but kind of unsettled. And you don't struggle with money because you lack ideas or skills. You struggle in this case because money seems to require deciding too early or committing before it feels aligned. Choosing one direction and then staying there longer than your body wants to. Forcing clarity before it's actually ready. You might feel opportunities forming before others do. You might be able to sense shifts in the market, in people, in timing. You know when something is about to change, but the moment you try to lock it down, things feel wrong. And that is not a strategy issue, it's a nervous system orientation. The shapeshifter orientation exists to solve a very specific set of money challenges. Environments where timing matters more than force, where opportunities emerge through responsiveness, and where value comes through adaptation rather than dominance. Before we go further, a quick important note because it matters how you hear the rest of what I'm going to share. The somatic skins are not personalities or fixed types. They're nervous system orientations, ways that your body organizes itself under pressure. Everyone has access to all four. Most people lead with one. And money tends to move or stall depending on which orientation is online at the moment it's needed. If you want to know which orientation you currently lead with, there is a short 2-minute Somatic Skins assessment quiz linked below. This is not advice or a label, it's orientation, a starting place in this conversation so that everything I'm going to share lands personally, applicably where it should. Okay, now the shapeshifter. The shapeshifter orientation is the nervous system's capacity for adaptation. It's what allows someone to sense change early, to pivot smoothly, and move with uncertainty instead of trying to eliminate it. When this orientation is available, money often comes through opportunity rather than force, through timing rather than pressure, through sensing what's emerging instead of insisting on what should happen. This is why shapeshifter capacity is invaluable in things like creative work, entrepreneurship, deal flow, early stage products, and environments where conditions are fluid rather than fixed. Money responds to this orientation because it creates relevance. You're in the right place at the right time. Not because you planned perfectly, but because you stayed responsive. Think of it like consciously creating the conditions for luck. But here's where this orientation goes off the rails. People assume that the shapeshifter is unfocused, inconsistent, or unreliable. And sometimes that's exactly how it looks, especially when the orientation isn't supported by structure. The shapeshifter orientation does not fail because it adapts too much. It fails when adaptation happens without anchoring. Somatically, you can feel when this happens. The body moves quickly from one thing to the next. Attention jumps ahead 10 steps before the previous moment has really landed. Breath gets shallow or erratic. There's a sense of motion, but without traction. And money starts to feel scattered. Projects multiply but never really consolidate. Ideas generate easily, but follow through lags. The system stays busy sensing possibility, but struggles to convert it into something that others can say yes to. This is where many shapeshifter-led people get frustrated with money. They know they're capable. They know they're seeing things that others miss, but income feels inconsistent or delayed or dependent on bursts of momentum rather than reliability. The mistake here is trying to fix this by becoming more rigid. When shapeshifter systems try to copy warrior strategies, forcing decisions, locking plans too early, pushing through uncertainty, they lose their edge. Their sensitivity dulls. Their creativity collapses. Money doesn't stabilize, it just becomes heavier. The shapeshifter orientation does not need to be overridden. It needs to be harnessed, contained. That's a somatic distinction. When the body has enough structure to support movement, adaptation stops being chaotic. Breath slows just enough to register what's actually happening, and attention can stay with a moment long enough for it to complete before shifting. This is when money-making changes for shapeshifters. Opportunities consolidate instead of evaporate. Timing becomes clearer. Offers stabilize without killing their flexibility. People start to trust that what you sense will actually land somewhere. There's also a visibility component here. Shapeshifter systems often hesitate to claim a position publicly because they don't want to be locked in. They want to stay responsive and open and evolving. But money often requires some degree of public signal, letting others know where to find you, even if that position isn't permanent. Cultivating the shapeshifter orientation teaches the body how to signal without freezing, how to speak from a place that's alive and evolving without constantly reinventing itself. That's a money skill. So here's the reframe to hold. The shapeshifter orientation is not about instability. It's about intelligent responsiveness. When that responsiveness is supported by structure and breath, money stops feeling like something you have to pin down. It becomes something you can meet as it emerges. If money feels hard because everything seems to change just as you commit, or because you sense opportunity but then struggle to consolidate it, it's often because this orientation is online without enough containment. And that is trainable. If you're curious what orientation you currently lead with, don't forget that the Somatic Skins Quiz is linked below. But if you want to train these orientations yourself so you can adapt without scattering, that is the work that we do inside the Prestige together. In the next video, we're going to look at the SAGE orientation and money, where value moves through clarity, precision, and trust rather than timing or pressure. Until then, thank you so much for making it this far. Please do consider liking and subscribing. It helps the channel out. And if this resonates, let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Until next time.